Hi, everyone. I'm Contessa Brewer. Thank you for joining us. We're learning of a security situation at Miami International Airport that shut down parts of the airport and also led to this.
Everybody out. Everybody out. From the front. From the front. Everybody out. From the front. Front. Let's go. Quickly.
Heavily armed police boarded at least one plane. Other people at the airport reported being locked in restaurants. The FBI is apparently in charge of the scene. Kris Van Cleave is on the phone now. Kris, what are you learning?
Well, Contessa, we know that this started as some kind of a security issue, and it sounds like it started around a security checkpoint in the SkyTrain in Terminal D at Miami International Airport. That's the American Airlines terminal. It is a gigantic terminal. And a lot of traffic goes in and out of there. We know that 9 flights diverted, about 50 at least were delayed because of this lockdown situation. The video you just showed, sort of speaks for itself. It is certainly unusual when you see a plane cleared by tactical officers in that sort of assault-type gear, the passengers with their hands over their heads and being led off the plane. That's certainly unusual. Now, the way this was described by the airport sort of evolved over time, and they're not giving us a ton of information. But initially, it was described as a security incident around a checkpoint and the SkyTrain, and the SkyTrain operates inside Terminal D there. From there, they also mentioned a suspicious package, which then the lockdown expanded and took over much of Terminal D by the sounds of it. And that's when you started to see pictures from people who were literally locked inside restaurants. They brought the gates down around people. So that certainly tells you that there was some concern, although throughout the airport was putting out updates that the terminal was secure, the passengers were safe. So you're looking at what sounds like some kind of a security breach at Miami International Airport that now has been resolved, and the airport is beginning to return to normal operations after several very tense hours.
Well, given the fact that they were locking down the airport, so to speak, what did that do to flights in and out of Miami?
So what we're hearing from the airport, 9 flights diverted to other airports, about 50 at least were delayed. If they've locked down that terminal, you're not getting in and you're not getting out. And of course, American Airlines is the major player out of MIA. So that is a fairly large disruption. As the evening goes on, you get a lighter and lighter flight schedule, but 50 flights delayed is a significant number of flights delayed for a security scare.
And so what you're saying at this point, Kris, is that it's not clear what led from that gate at the AirTrain, so to speak, to what we're seeing on board this actual airplane.
At this point, we're getting exceptionally little information about what prompted this security incident and what all was involved. Certainly one potential, if you had a security breach at a checkpoint, if somebody got through and wasn't screened, or you had a concern that would happen, given sort of the nature of the times now and the investigation that's going on in Egypt and the concerns about a bomb getting on an airliner, I think you have to assume the worst at this point if you're a first responder, and that may have played into the decision to lock everything down, to check flights individually, and in this case, remove people from that airplane. But, we just don't have enough information to know how this went from an issue at a checkpoint to a suspicious package to a locking down the entire terminal. What we're hearing from the airport is that the FBI is investigating. And that's not uncommon, because if you've breached a security checkpoint, that can move into a federal crime, and thus it's FBI jurisdiction.
Yeah, well, I can't imagine how frightening it must have been for people who, not only those on the airplane who were told to put their hands over their heads and move, but all the people inside the airport who suddenly were finding no way of escaping the airport in the middle of a security incident. Kris Van Cleave, I know that you're working on getting all the latest details. Thanks for checking in with us.
No problem.